Hey guys, welcome back to the Toby Show. I'm your host Toby. Today's episode, I just wanted to basically dive right into Pride Month, why it's important that we have Pride Month. And because there are a lot of people in my personal life that just don't understand why we have Pride Month. My community has Pride Month and they just want to assume that pride parades are just sexual things and guys are just having sex on parades and hardly wearing clothes, but that's not how it really is. It's Pride Month is basically about my community, a bunch of us honoring the fact that we're out and we're proud and we want the same rights as everybody else. To get married and to be able to adopt kids. Yeah, like the same rights as everybody else. Which, it just irritates me that a lot of people are like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, really? Well, it's like, okay, so I recently was on Reddit and I was, I wanted to do like a straight up like Pride episode couple where I'm reading, Pride stories of people coming out and people falling in love and Reddit and stuff, and because I'm a nosy bitch at times. And anyway, this bisexual lady was talking mad shit about Pride, and she's like, I don't understand why you have Pride Month. I like blah blah blah. And I'm just laughing because I'm like, you're talking like you're a bisexual woman. And like, I'm sorry, a lot of my community don't want nothing to do with the bisexuals because y'all are like, y'all don't have the best reputation at all. A bunch of y'all are just whores and liars. So I'm like, where do you get off? Yeah. And so, someone commented and checked her and was like, well, I know you're not talking. You're a bisexual woman. Y'all don't have the greatest reputation at all. So you need to shut the fuck up. And I agree. Like, where will you judge? Because, I mean, I've met a couple of bisexuals that are like that. But I've dated a lot of bisexual men that were like that. They were liars. And, they would fuck anything that moves. Yeah. Which is sad and true. Yeah, and so I'm just like, don't be talking shit about Pride Month. If you're in the community and you're bisexual, then shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's the honest truth. Because there's a parade that happens in Dallas, and they always do it where they have the state fair. And I've gone a couple of times, and yeah, there's nothing sexual. There's just a whole bunch of businesses showing their support on floats. Yeah. I also just wanted to, send off about something that was popping around on TikTok that I saw, which is people talking shit about people in open relationships and not getting it, and people wanting to talk shit and say, oh my god, open relationship, there's not a real relationship. I'm like, you don't understand, do you? Not all relationships are the same. They're not. Like I said, this episode, I'm giving my opinion. A lot of people aren't gonna like it, but I don't really give a fuck. This is my opinion. Okay, me, for example, I'm in an open relationship. I have 2 boyfriends, okay? They both have, one of them has another boyfriend I know about that lives in a different state, and my other one has a front row benefits and stuff, and whatever. And so anyway, yeah, we all communicate, we're all on the same page. It's like, I don't need people's approval at all. Like, this is what works for us. And it's like, I got irritated because someone was commenting about this clip from a podcast about a couple being up in a relationship. Like, oh, a relationship's not a relationship, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it is. not all relationships are the same. Like months ago, because I'm a big Reddit fanatic, I listen to a lot of Reddit podcasts. We're not at times, and I heard a story like this wife and her husband they have open relationship because the husband doesn't really like sex. It's he don't like it, and so the wife has her needs, and the husband's like you go do you, blah blah blah, and then they live in a small town, and then one of his family members catches her with her lover, and it becomes a big shit storm, and yeah, it's just people just don't understand it. They don't, and I get irritated when people think, oh my god, being in an open relationship is a sex thing. You just can't stick with one person forever, blah blah. But it's like this, okay. Years ago, I was in a monogamy relationship. I hated it. I didn't like it. Monogamy is not for everybody. It's not. And you know what? For all the people that are like, oh my god, monogamy is the only way. Shut the fuck up. We're in a different time. Poly relationships are starting to become accepted. Same with throuples. Yeah, same open relationships. So I don't need y'all to be talking crap. Like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like I said, I don't like judgmental people. I don't. And you know what? Yeah. And that's the honest truth. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. We're all different. We're not all the same. Just be more, mindful. Like, for example, my mom. Years ago, I was in a quadruple relationship. I had like 3 boyfriends at once. And my mom thought it was an orgy. She was like, oh, so y'all have sex together. I'm like, no, we do not. We're not all intimate with each other at once. And then this is funny. My parents have a car group. And there was a guy that was in the car group, and he's like pansexual. My mom got pan confused with poly, and I just thought it was hilarious. And I was having to educate my mom, and I just thought it was hilarious. But like I said, Pride Month's important, so if you want to be one of those ignorant old fucks that wants to go on, oh the parades, this and that, or it's a month to celebrate sin because you're a religious fuck, shut the fuck up. No, it's not. My community, we are celebrating the fact that a bunch of us are out and we're open and we're proud. And yeah, because coming out's not easy for a lot of people. It's not, because a lot of people have religious families that are old-fashioned about it. For example, when I was in a throuple with a recent couple, one of them's family was really homophobic as fuck, and it just irritated me, because I'm like, I don't want to be with someone that they know their family's toxic as fuck, and they just don't cut them off, and they know they're homophobic, and they don't accept their relationship, this and that. And it's like, I was laughing because, one of them expected me to believe that their family was like, oh, and that was the other one as oh, so-and-so's roommate, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not stupid. I'm pretty sure they're not stupid. They know that y'all are together. Like, no. Life is too short. No. My thing is this, don't be having people around you, family or not, that don't accept you. And they're like, oh, it's a phase. Well, then fuck you. You don't deserve to be in my life. So, like I said, and I think that, there needs to be more there's a lot of shows that are open-minded about, throuples and poly couples and stuff. Hell, there's even the reality show on WeTV I want to watch called This Is Poly that I want to check out and watch, because, like I said, I don't need people's, 2 cents, but I know a lot of people in the world are just not going to fucking understand. So, and I appreciate all the people that are allies that, they're being educated themselves and they're not being rude and disrespectful, but I can't stand the hypocritical fucks. I'm sorry. That's one of the things that irritates me, is hypocrites. Like, somebody that's like, oh my god, blah, 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 being gay is a sin, blah, 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 but I'm like, no. Y'all are the fucking hypocrites. A lot of the motherfuckers being like that are motherfuckers that are molesting kids, people that are raping women, people that are having affairs on their wives. Like, shut the fuck up. Who are you? Don't be a hypocrite and don't be judging. Like, I'm not doing this shit. Like, no. Like, yeah. It's just like, a lot of us have different kinks, which a lot of people don't understand. Like, I know people, a lot of furries. I even know people that are into the whole ABDL shit, which is a separate issue itself. It's like, we're not all the same. It's like, I get agitated when people are like, oh my god, you're gay, you're forcing on everybody, blah blah. And I'm like, that's funny, because those people that are religious, that they keep trying to push their religion onto everybody else. It's like, you need to realize that there's a lot of people that are not religious, they're not Christians. Like, just be respectful. Not everybody believes in the same thing. It's not true. Like, just because when I used to work at Sprouts, and I had a former friend of mine that was not religious, and customers would come in and be trying to, get her to go to church, this and that, and she'd be like, yo, no, that's not for me. And they would get so offended and be like, oh my god. And I'm like, y'all need to accept, she doesn't have to. If she doesn't want to go to church and be religious, she doesn't have to. It's like, a lot of people in my community, a lot of them turn away from religion because their families burn them. Yeah. It's like, no. Like, y'all need to sit your fucking asses down somewhere. Like, stop. Stop being hypocrites. Just, don't do that shit. Educate yourselves. And then the people that don't understand, people in relationships like me, like, just shut the fuck up. It's not your business. If you don't have anything nice to say, then shut up. No. But yeah, because I like to educate people. So, I Googled why Pride Month. It's important. So, yeah. So, okay. Pride Month is celebrated every June to honor, the 1969 Stonewall uprising in New York City. Raids on gay bars were common at the time, but the patrons' pushback against the police sparked days of protest. This pivotal event galvanized the modern gay liberation movement. Okay. Yeah, and then it's talking about visibility and representation. Yeah. And it's talking about Edward, oh my gosh, and it's talking about advocacy and education. Yeah. Like I said, okay, now let me talk about something else. Okay, there was a movie coming out. I'm excited to watch it. It's called Girls Like Girls. And one of my favorite singers, Haley Kiyoko, wrote a song and then turned it into a book. And like, literally, the movie's coming out. And I read the book in like 2 days. And I actually talked about it. And one of the episodes about, I'm annoyed about it being rated R. And anyway, okay. So some fucking old bad comments. I was like, oh my god, the children, blah, blah. And then some girl comments to the lady and was like, you don't understand. When I was a teenager, we didn't have movies like this growing up. Like, if a movie like Girls came out when I was coming to terms with my sexuality, being gay, it would help me. Yeah, so people don't understand. Like, for example, Love, Simon. Okay, like, it was a big deal that, Love, Simon, it's a mainstream gay movie. It is. Like, it is. Like, it did really good at the box office, Yeah, it's a big deal. That's what people don't understand. People are like, oh my god, why they have to put gay characters in blah, blah, blah. I'm like, because we're all about the representation. Yeah, I said that word wrong. We're all about, having somebody in the show or movie, like, be like representing us. I said the word wrong. But anyway, yeah. It's like, no. Just like with yeah. It's like Love, Simon. Like, I love just like last year they came out with Bros. I liked it, but I started to see why a lot of people just didn't really like Bros, because it felt like it was trying to cater too much to straight people, even though it was supposed to be for, like, gay men. And that just kind of irritated me. Just like there's one, okay, there's this series I like, Something Like Summer. It's a book series. Well, I discovered it because of the movie, and it's a book series about this, guy Ben. He's a teenager in the 90s, and he ends up, falling in love with this closet case Tim, and then they break up, but then he moves on and gets with this other guy, Jason. Anyway, he's on love triangle with both of them, and anyway, the first book is like Ben's like story, and then the second book I'm reading right now is Jason's story, talking about Jason's life before he met Tim. And then the third book is Tim's story, and yeah, so all the books, they're everyone's different point of view. Yeah, and it's like I'm sad about it because they only made one movie for the first book. Like the books are good. They don't get enough attention and love like Hated Rivalry or Love Simon got, and that's what irritates me because there's a lot of gay book series that don't get a lot of adaptions, and I get mad and I get agitated about that because I'm like, what the hell? Oh my god, let me see. Yeah, but I'm like, you know what? We're all human, so I mean, like I said, maybe someday they'll like turn something like into a TV series. I'd love that. It's like, for example, Heated Rivalry. Okay, I like the show. I'm excited to read the books. I just thought it was crazy that this gay book series took everybody by storm. Everybody was all talking about it, this and that. And I think it's interesting that a straight woman wrote Heated Rivalry. Like, okay. It's like with something like Summer series. J. Bell Gaiman wrote the series. Yeah. It's like, it's like me, for example. Okay. I'm working on a book. I started working on the draft for it, and it's a gay coming of age story. And, it's very realistic, just like with Something Like Summer. Something Like Summer's realistic as hell. Like, there's no supernatural shit at all. Like it's realistic. And I realized with my book, it's gonna have a realistic ending. Some people are not gonna like it, but some are gonna get it because it's a real life story. Just like with Haley Kiyoko, Girls Like Girls. Okay, the ending of the book I love, but ever being realistic, that couple, they don't stay together long at all. They really don't. They end up breaking up. They do, and they're well. That's just like with Something Like Summer. I love the fact that Ben, breaks up with Tim and can't because Tim's closet case, he's not out. And so Ben's like, no, I'm not doing this. And so he bounces and he has to do his best for him. Like that's what irritates me a lot of times is that, I feel like a lot of gay media, it's all catered around a gay person falling for a straight person and they become DL and it becomes toxic, this and that. Something Like Summer is like, no, we're not doing this. Like, granted, I got really annoyed the fact that Ben wanted to meet Tim's parents and he was pressuring Tim to come out, and I'm like, he didn't get the fact that Tim's parents are not accepting about it. But yeah, like, no, don't pressure someone at all. We're all different. Like I said, I'm going to recap the episode. Okay, I talked about Pride Month, why it's important, and that it's not all about sex, so people need to sit their asses down somewhere and have several fucking seats. And then in number 2, talked about relationships. Not all relationships are the same. A lot of them are different, so yeah. A lot of people are not going to like my opinion, but this is my opinion. This is my fucking podcast, so I'm going to start stating my opinion more, and people ain't gonna like it. I don't give a fuck. It's like people don't like me because I speak my mind. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't kiss no one's ass. If I don't like people, I'm gonna keep it 100. No, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna match it. I'm gonna match your energy. No, just like you know, I have boundaries. And people are like, oh my God, Toby's blah, blah, doing this and that. Because I have fucking boundaries. Because I don't put up with people fucking disrespecting me no more. No, I'm not doing it. I had a so-called recent ex-friend of mine that threw me under the bus for some bullshit and fucking tried my ass. And I'm like, no, we're not doing this shit. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And if you're listening to audio, please give me a review because I'm trying to grow this podcast. And love you guys in peace.